Hello, good evening. So my career started with the Oberoi Hotel in New Delhi. I then moved on to becoming an air hostess in an airline called Modi Luft. I was the pilot batch. We were sent to Germany for training. So that was really a great experience. I moved on to GE Capital, again being part of the pilot batch, and going to the US to transition 2 processes from there successfully end to end from scratch. It was very challenging, and luckily, because I have been the pilot batch in at least 3 organizations, namely again ICICI after GE Capital, there is a lot of positive learning because you do everything from ground zero, set up processes, you train, you are involved in the recruitment and the hiring and the upskilling of the new recruits, and you're also learning along with them. So it's really a lot of learning, I would say, in the initial years of my career, which of course formed the foundation for me. I then moved on to ICICI Bank for 8 years, set up various operations teams, was also heading the employee engagement across 2 cities, 3,000 plus employees, and also put certain processes in place which are still existing, recording customer experience and having an opportunity for the customers to get in touch directly online while on call with the executive directors and the very, very senior management of ICICI. I moved on to heading business development for a legal boutique firm. That was something new, so I would say that was very challenging and something very different, which initially I thought I couldn't do. But I always say never, and every stage has been something very different for me, a new line of business. I have learned something very, very unique in every single organization where I worked. I never knew anything about legal, but fortunately I picked it up, and I had a wonderful supportive team and seniors, and I was pitching legal HR services to global clients. So I was responsible for everything from the first conversation to basically closing the deal till the expert legal team came in, and right up to the invoice raising. So it was all obviously a lot of relationship building and maintaining to take it from the first phone call to the last closure of the requirement. And I always make sure it's a win-win for the customer and the organization. I never think of only the organization where I'm working. I ensure that I have a natural default personal connection, which of course is professional only, with the client, understanding the requirements and making sure they get what they want. After that, I had a long, difficult, tough phase. I would say that was really, really challenging and tough, of nearly less than a decade of not having a regular job and income. So that was really difficult, and all I can say is, as a learning, never give up, keep trying, keep moving ahead, and take up, even if it's a small assignment or project which pays you something that you may feel at that time that you don't deserve because you want much more depending on your experience and capability, but still take it up because it will be a learning, and it will be at least something to moving towards a more full experienced profile that you may get, because after a break sometimes it takes a very, very, very long time. You have to just keep trying. So I did a lot of networking during that time, attending a lot of seminars, attending a lot of HR conferences, connecting with my ex-superiors, ex-colleagues, ex-bosses, and that really, really helped. I would say that is something that we must keep doing, and I would advise all the women who are having a career break or wanting to upskill or wanting to have a break for a specific personal or some other reason, please keep at least updating yourself, reading, attending networking workshops, attending conferences, because that really, really helps. And it will give you a lot of confidence also, and those connections will help you later. I moved on to something that I never thought I would do again, even more challenging, I would say, and tougher than the legal business development role that I was in. I moved on to heading development for Sarovar Group of Hotels, which was an absolutely new playing field for me. It was all about real estate and understanding what a potential hotel owner needs, So it was a very specific niche field, and initially really everybody in my organization, including me, thought I wouldn't be able to manage it. But again, I put my heart and soul and I learned something absolutely unique, which I was delighted to learn. I was totally alone. The rest of the team was all a male dominated team in Gurgaon. I was based alone in Bombay, but I started from day one and I closed my first deal in less than a month. So that was a great achievement. So again, I go back to say, don't say no to anything. Try your best. Say what you don't know, what you're capable of, and absolutely be honest to yourself as to what you can do and what you can't do. So that is my biggest learning. I also take a lot of pride and delight as a mentor. I do a lot of mentoring in a couple of colleges in many cities in India, also some virtual sessions, a lot of guest lectures. And I think that is really one of the most wonderful things that I'm doing, sharing my experience live with students, and the impact that it makes on them gives me a lot of pleasure and happiness and joy within, because that's the least we can do. And we never had this opportunity. Now it's such a different world, and the students are really lucky to have experienced corporate leaders, meeting them, mentoring them, and guiding them. Thank you so much, and looking forward. Thank you, Herki, for this opportunity. It's always wonderful to associate with you all. Thank you.